Welcome to Embody Your Brilliance, a podcast for visionary daughters of immigrants and creative entrepreneurs. I'm your host, Eunice Kimian, somatic life and business coach, mom, and Korean American eldest daughter of immigrants. Each week, you'll hear stories, insights, and conversations to help you embody your unique brilliance beyond survival mode, so that you can design a life you actually want and grow a peaceful, profitable business you're proud of that supports you. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Embody Your Brilliance. I'm your host, Eunice Kimian. And today I want to talk about the emotional parts of entrepreneurship, the messy, uncertain parts of entrepreneurship that so many of us are navigating right now. And this is a topic that's been coming up a lot in my conversations with my clients. It's this idea of death and rebirth in entrepreneurship and how, from an identity standpoint, it feels like we're shedding old skin and like a new part of us, a new version of us is emerging. And it's all usually very positive. It's like maybe you were feeling so confused at what you're doing in your business, like what your niche is, what exactly is the thing that sets you apart, that you're focused on. And then now you feel more clarity and momentum, and maybe you're launching this new thing and you feel momentum. And maybe you're rebranding and you have a new vibe going for you. And while that's so exciting, there's a part of you that's so uncomfortable because maybe there's a public version of you or your website or whatever that doesn't fully reflect this new version of you yet because you're working on it, but you're still wanting to put it out there, and it's kind of messy because it's not all fleshed out yet because it hasn't been launched yet. So it's an exciting place to be, but also so uncomfortable and awkward. I think about how this year is the year of the snake, and we're on this journey of shedding. Maybe we've spent a lot of this year shedding old identities, shedding old thoughts, beliefs, and we're emerging with this naked skin, new naked skin. And maybe you're starting to embody the version of you that this next version of your business is calling for, is needing. I really want to normalize this part that in order to reach the goals that you want to reach, you most likely need to shed old skin and become a different person to reach those goals. Because the version of you that's making $0 in your business is not the version of you that's making 100K in your business. That's not the version of you that's making 200K in your business. The version of you that was working part-time at a company while building your business is not the version of you that's working full-time on your business. The version of you that was feeling so unclear about your niche is not the version of you that's launching workshops and booking out your coaching practice. So there is this identity shift that happens every time your business is growing because it's asking for a new version of you. It's asking for a new CEO. Even in, if you look at big companies, looking at super early stage startups to big publicly trading companies, there's a shift in who they hire and who is at the helm of the company because that later stage company needs a different type of CEO than the founder CEO at the beginning when they're really drumming up interest from investors to raise money to believe in their vision before it existed. That is a very different job description and identity than someone who's running a 100,000 person company, right? So that's a corporate example. But from your own business example, if you have big goals and if you have a big vision and you want to call in this new vision into reality, most likely you need to embody this next level version of you, right? So that can only come when you shed and integrate the older version of you. And part of that is really surrendering to the messiness of it all, to the awkwardness of your dead skin just like flapping around as this very vulnerable naked skin is coming out. I don't really know exactly how it works with snakes and shedding skin. That's just how I imagine it happening. If you're a snake expert and you know better, then let me know. But if you're in that in-between period of time, instead of trying to speed up the process and trying to peel the dead skin faster and like make it less naked when you come out or predict what's going to happen, it's like, okay, surrender to this part of the experience. What a beautiful time where you're in that space. It's a very fertile space of possibilities. It's a very creative space to be in. You're in that in-between phase of seeing the glimmers, seeing the future, but also like feeling the groundedness of the past. So you feel the pull of this expansive part of you and also just the discomfort of the death and rebirth process of the transformation. And I want to normalize the fact that you can feel very clear and also very confused at the same time. It might be that you finally feel clear on the direction of where you're going, but your body feels a little confused because it's kind of like whiplash, like, whoa, this is a different path. Whoa, this is a different identity. So that doesn't mean that there's something wrong or suddenly you're not feeling clear again. I really want to normalize the messiness and the nuance of feeling clear and also a little bit like, oh, my body and my nervous system need to catch up to this new reality. Instead of resisting all of this and trying to control it, trying to speed it up, just really flow with it and stop resisting the unraveling that needs to happen for this to all work, right? And trusting that it's all happening even if you feel like you're kind of stuck in this in-between stage. And part of it is instead of intellectualizing your emotions, allow yourself to feel the emotions of discomfort, confusion, clarity, shame, excitement, the full range of it all. It's like when you're about to get in the pool and you feel, I don't know if I should jump in the pool. You feel like that bracing because it's like it might be cold in there. That's very normal. It doesn't mean there's something wrong with the pool or there's something wrong with you. It just is a very normal human reaction to have before going into this new thing, right? And I don't know if you saw the interview with Audrey Nuna, who is a rapper, but also was in K-pop Demon Hunters. She was Mira. She was in an interview and someone was asking her, oh, how does it feel to see K-pop Demon Hunters pop off like this? And how do you feel, being on Billboard top charts and everything? And she's like, I like to call myself emotionally constipated, as in I don't let myself feel these feelings. And way later, I burst into tears. So I feel like a lot of daughters of immigrants, a lot of eldest daughters, women of color deal with this because we had to really control our emotions, suppress our emotions to get stuff done, to carry our families on our backs, achieve. And a lot of us tend to be very intellectual as well and very capable. And it's so easy to intellectualize our emotions, as in maybe you're saying, oh, it makes sense that I'm feeling this way. And let me explain why. And let me break down all the different ways that this is making sense. But instead of analyzing it, allow yourself to just feel it. Allow yourself to just feel the fear, feel the clarity, feel the excitement. Breathe with it, express it, express it out loud with someone else or with yourself, journal about it, move the emotion around, move your body with it, actually feel the feelings. Because when you're emotionally constipated, it's going to come out in a weird way at a timing that you cannot control. And feeling your feelings is not a waste of time, and avoiding the feelings doesn't get rid of the feelings. And you feeling in connection with your emotions and expressing the emotions freely and fully allows you to tap into the next version of yourself that can call in this next level of expansion. And by the way, if part of this is coming from you pivoting into a new direction once again, and if you're like me, you're the queen of pivots, and maybe you tried something and it sort of worked out or it flopped or whatever, and you found this new clarity around the next direction you want to go. Something that could also come up is shame around, oh, why do I change direction so much? Maybe you're multi-passionate, you chose one lane, didn't really hit the mark, and so now you're trying this other thing. don't shame yourself for doing that, right? I've gotten so used to this process that I had to really stop shaming myself or judging myself for changing and pivoting. I don't want to change and pivot all the time to the point where I can't grow my business or scale or really develop my craft. But I also have realized that I am in a constant process of death and rebirth, and I have pivoted a lot. And instead of me judging myself or shaming myself, it's like, how can I be grateful for all the different pivots that led me to this moment where things are working, right? And so instead of saying, oh, I should have found this clarity 3 months ago, why did I try this idea and, you know, put myself in this situation? Now I'm just like, thank you. Thank you, universe. Thank you, God. Thank you, body, for this clarity. I will run with this and see where it goes. I just became grateful for any sort of clarity, and I stopped shaming myself for not receiving this clarity anytime sooner. I am a woman of many transitions and many transformations, and I think the more I am on board with that part of myself, the easier it flows, the clarity, the transformations, all of it. So I'm curious, what are you releasing in this chapter? What are you shedding? And what's the version of you that's emerging for this next season of your life and business? What does this next level version of you need in terms of support, need in terms of your daily schedule? What is this next level version of you wearing? Tap into what this next level version of you needs and wants while also honoring the beauty and the power of this last version of you that is ready to shed. So let me know. I would love to hear from you. And if you're interested in working together, get on my calendar. I would love to connect with you and hear what you are calling into your next year and what you are shedding so that we can create a game plan together and bring your body and your nervous system and all the different parts of you on board so that you can expand in a way that feels grounded, calm, and joyful and so aligned with where you want to go. All right. I'll talk to you next week.